Okay, welcome back to lesson 3. On this lesson, we are going to talk about over direction and elevation. I know these might seem like super basic principles, and they are. However, they would confuse me. Over direction preserves length. And that, I knew that phrase, but it always confused me. Like, well, where does it preserve length, right? Okay, so let's talk about it as far as the shapes go. If we're creating a round shape, I grew up in the 90s, and so there was all of these little boys. My kindergarten crush had a chili bowl. If you don't know what a chili bowl is, go look up a chili bowl haircut. And it's short in the front and long in the back, but it's just cut right here all the way around, like literally like you put a bowl on top of your head and you cut around it. That is a round shape. That's a round one length, okay? So if we want it to be shorter in the front and longer in the back, we're going to over direct forward, okay? So let me show you how. The area where you are preserving length is the area where you are combing from. So I am combing from the back forward. So I'm preserving length in the back, making it shorter in the front, creating a round shape, okay? So this is where I'm preserving length from, where my comb is combing from. I'm cutting it shorter where I'm cutting it to. So let's say I want to cut a triangular shape. Here's another 90s reference for you. Think Victoria Beckham. If you don't know who she was in Spice Girls, and she wore this really high stacked triangular bob. And let's say that we want to do a triangular shape, okay? So we're going to over direct because we want it shorter in the back, but we want to preserve length in the front, okay? So if we're wanting to preserve length in the front, where I'm combing from right here, the start is where I'm saving my length, and I'm over directing this back. That's over direction. Okay, makes sense? You guys with me? All right. I also want to talk about elevation. Elevation is going to become key when we get into graduation. It's really, really essential there to have a proper. Now I want to show you something, because one of the most common mistakes, so if we're cutting a one length, do you think a one length has any elevation? No, one lengths don't have any elevation. The only cuts that use elevation are layers and graduation. But I'm going to show you a common mistake that I see people make when they're cutting one lengths. Okay. So this is where things get really tricky. Is look, see this occipital bone and see like all of this area here. There's, because the head shape goes in, all right? So it's really easy to like go too close or elevate just slightly. And that's where people make mistakes. So when it comes to cutting one lengths, my mannequin tripod, I need a new tripod. I need to tighten this guy up. I need to just get my screwdriver out. Okay. Let me show you. This is a one length. This is elevation. This is elevation. I mean, all of that is elevation, but I just want you to see that I'm pulling this straight down. This slight movement, that's elevation. All right. If I'm cutting layers into the hair, this is elevation. This is elevation. This is elevation, you know, so on and so forth. That's elevation. Elevation is just the lifting of the hair. Okay. That's it. Even if it's this much, that is elevation. So if you're doing a one length, you have no elevation. And over direction is preserving length, over directing it forward, over directing it back. And really, you only over direct for round shape or triangular shapes. Okay? All right, I'll see you guys on the next lesson.